Jim Cramer on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange answering your Twitter questions. Jim, good morning. We're going to start with Alibaba. Question from Tonk. He says, I'm over leveraged in Alibaba. Should I trim my position before or after they report earnings?
I'll have a piece talking a lot about China and consumption. The consumer is hurting, I believe, in China. So I've always been saying the whole way that you should own Yahoo as a play on Alibaba because the stub of Yahoo is worth a lot more than it's trading. He should swap out Alibaba and go into Yahoo if he wants that exposure.
All right, Jim, we have a question from Moshe who says, should I get out of Netflix? I made great money. I'm scared it peaked. Should I swap it for Apple?
If you're ever scared of owning a stock, I am going to tell you to sell some because this is about suitability. The day that Netflix will be down will be the day that you sell it. I'd like to avoid that. I think Apple is an own, not trade. And I think that Apple's going lower because it has a lot of cell phone exposure. And I would buy it. When I say go lower, I mean, like, I don't think it's going to roar here. But I think that it's just a great thing to own. If it went below these levels that people talk about as technical breakdowns, 119, 118, then we'll really start pounding the table.
Jim, you've been talking a lot about energy. Somebody writes, how far will Linn Energy plunge?
Well, Linn Energy is one of these companies that is just very over-levered, and they're doing a lot of different things, but I don't want you to own it. It's a $3 thing, just don't own it.
Another question, is there a play in shipping companies like Diana's shipping? The Baltic index keeps soaring.
You know, the Nordic, well, Diana's true. I mean, you get bulk. I like Nordic American in part because they finally bought some ships and didn't issue equity. This is Herbjorn Hansen. The key thing about Nordic American is that as oil continues to go down, it is being hoarded on ships by hedge funds that think that it's going to be okay. And so I like Nordic American because the dividend's safe.
And Jim, what's your pick for data analytics companies?
Well, I know Tableau did not blow the numbers away that people liked. I think it's a good company. I do think that Click had a fantastic quarter, better than I thought. So I also think that Salesforce is a terrific buy.
All right, Jim, thanks.
Thank you.
Remember, send your questions to @JimCramer, #CramerQ on Twitter. I'm Rhonda Schaffler for The Street.